Hi, I'm Ashley Bullington, and you're watching The Warmup, presented by your local Geico agents in Cypress, Spring, Pearland, and East Houston. Last week we had some great games in the Houston area, including our game of the week, which was the big Crosby Cougar win over Barbers Hill. There's going to be just as much action on this week's Chevy's Inside High School Sports as we have some big-time matchups.
To kick us off tonight at 7 p.m., Manville and Fort Bend Hightower go at it in District 10-5A. The Mavs are 3-1 on the season, with their only loss coming to Houston Power North Shore. Ty Harris leads this team on the ground, averaging 131 rushing yards per game, and the Mavs as a whole average 300 rushing yards per game. On the other side of the football, the Hurricanes are 2-2 for the start of 2020 and picked to win this game by 1 point. Jacoby Longino is averaging 267 total yards per game and is leading this offense well. This game is going to come down to the wire tonight. One of the more highly anticipated matchups, Katy versus Katy Tompkins, is on tonight at 6 p.m. at Legacy Stadium. This game was supposed to be a few weeks ago but had to be postponed. And now we are all going to get to see who will take the title as Katy's best football program in 2020. Both of these squads are 5-0 for the season, and across their stat lines are pretty similar. If their game from 2019 is any indication of how 2020 will go, be ready for some fireworks. District 12-4A has come down to the wire, and will have the district title determined tomorrow as El Campo and Needville battle it out on the field. Both of these squads are 4-0 in district play and hungry to take the title. The Rice Birds are favored by a touchdown in this matchup. Through the season, El Campo's high-octane offense has averaged 40 points per game. Running back John Trey Davis is leading the team in total yards per game with 158, so look for him to be breaking through the Blue Jays defense Friday night. Needville had a 3-game losing streak at the beginning of the season, but they've turned the ship around and have been unstoppable since, winning their next 5 matchups handedly. This is going to be a game where anything can happen to get the gold ball. Pasadena Dobie and Deer Park go at it tomorrow in our game of the week. Dobie has not skipped a beat from where they left off their 2019 season, as they are 5-0 on the year. They are favored in this one by 17 points and have scored at least 5 touchdowns in each of their games this season. Deer Park might be able to add a loss to the Longhorns record, as they are 4-0 in district play. Before getting into district, Deer Park took on some tough opponents in non-district. They got some L's on the board in those games, but it prepared them for the toughest teams when it comes to district play.
Some big-time games this week, and you'll be able to see all of the highlights on this week's episode of Chevy's Inside High School Sports. Also, make sure you vote on our Hot Plays of the Week poll presented by Louisiana Hot Sauce for a chance for your community to move on to compete in the Play of the Year. Here's last week's winner. Also on Chevy's Inside High School Sports, we have our Chevy Spotlight on Campo's cheer squad. If you think cheerleading isn't tough, these girls will prove you wrong. 13 of 15 of the girls on this cheer team are also competitive cheerleaders, which means they're training 6 days a week, working out with El Campo Cheer, and if that wasn't impressive enough, they are also in the top 2% of their grade in school. They also leave weekly positive messages throughout the school. Coach Teresa Tompkins says their goal is to prove that her girls are just as much of an athlete as anyone else on the football team.
Absolutely. People do not understand what sort of athletes these kids are. These girls have trained to become the level that they are since they were 5, 6, 7 years old. Many of them spend 9 to 12 hours in a gym every week through the holidays. There's never an off season for cheerleading. And so a lot of them do competitive all-star cheerleading, and then that training, of course, translates into high school cheerleading. I would say that every single one of these varsity cheerleaders are above an elite status, and it shows every Friday night.
Going to be a great story at El Campo's cheer squad. Last week on Chevy's Inside High School Sports, we gave our Gamaldi's MVP bobblehead to Bridgeland's Dylan Goffney. Here on The Warmth, we give recognition to players and teams outside of the events Inside High School Sports typically covers. This week, we introduce you to the Klein Bearcat volleyball team. The Lady Bearcats have dominated the competition since starting their season. The state champion runner-up in 2019 are currently 18-0 with a top 100 national rank, and they are ranked in the top 5 in the entire state of Texas. This season, they've accumulated 726 kills, 123 blocks, 123 aces, and 1,121 digs. This squad is led on offense by sophomore Ariana Brown, who won Newcomer of the Year last season. She is currently dominating at the net with over 200 kills, but also has 31 serving aces. They also have Division I volleyball commit libero Gabriella Mansfield, who is defensively leading this team with 317 digs. Head coach Kate Zora won her 500th game against Tomball on October 20th. The Klein Bearcats are going to be a tough team to beat this season. Look for them to make a run in the playoffs again. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the warm-up, the extra point. A really cool moment at Santa Fe High School during their game last Friday night, as Kyle Grassmuck scored his first touchdown of the year. Kyle made his debut at running back for the Indians last Friday night. He's the coolest cat on the block, too, as he also was Mr. September in this year's Down syndrome calendar. A super awesome moment for an obviously awesome young man. Another great story about Houston area athletes was put together by Vite Media, as Lutheran South has two standout football players in Tyler Ellinger and Colin Fox. They play under the Friday night lights and then turn around and rope and ride on Saturday. You can go check out the full story on their Twitter and website. That's all we have for this episode. Follow all of Inside High School Sports social accounts to stay up to date on everything going on in the high school sports scene. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube that throughout the week will get you ready for the main event, Chevy's Inside High School Sports on KHU 11 at 11 p.m. hosted by Matt Musil. Thanks for watching this episode of The Warm-Up, presented by your local Geico agents in Cypress, Spring, Pearland, and East Houston. To get more information or quote, go to geico.com/Houston. I'm Ashley Bullington, and I hope you're as ready as I am for all of the gridiron action.